What's going on, guys? It's your boy Mayo Jones here, back with another NFL prediction. And this time, we'll be doing our NFL's Week 2 predictions for this week. Now Week 1 is over. Now we're officially here to Week 2. So last week we went 10-6, which we did pretty good last week. So before I give you my Week 2 predictions for the 2025 NFL season, don't forget to put the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and comment down your opinion below to see who you got winning Week 2. So basically, I had the Packers winning 34-31, and they obviously won 27-18. So yeah. So let's get started with the rest of the games. So we got the Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 11.5. We know 11.5 is a big number though. But as you know, is that I am going to take the Ravens to win and cover. And the reason for it is that, the Ravens are the more complete team. The Ravens had the better quarterback. The Ravens got the better coaching. They're at home in this game. And I feel like they're coming off of a close loss against the Buffalo Bills. So I think the Ravens do get back on track this week. I mean, the Browns are just a disaster. Like, their defense, I thought, played really well against the Cleveland Browns. Like, I thought Joe Flacco really balled out because I thought the Browns did pass the ball, but their running game was very atrocious. And I don't think the Browns are going to be able to run the ball in this game, which I think that does allow the Ravens defense to step up and get some stops there to put them in them bad situations in some second and third and longs. And don't forget, this is Joe Flacco playing against his former team. So yeah. I mean, Joe Flacco against his former team is nice. But Joe Flacco here, the Browns offense did not play really great last week, but their defense played great. But I think their defense can totally keep them in this game, though. I think they can, though. I mean, if the Browns offense finds a way to show up, I think they could. But, the Ravens are a tough matchup. The Ravens do have great corners. They have a great pass rush that can get after Joe Flacco and great corners that can man up against the Browns receiving core because the Browns receiving core is not great. Like, they just got to lock Judy down and all that. So, yeah, and the Browns defense do play too much man coverage, and Lamar is able to at least hit some explosives down the middle of the field to like Zay Flowers and DeAndre Hopkins and Rashawn Bateman and Mark Andrews and all that. Yeah. The Ravens, I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball, but they could. So, yeah. So, I like the Ravens here to win. I like them here to cover. I don't see it being close. I think the Browns are going to get behind. I'm probably going to say the Ravens win like 34-16 or like 37 to like 13, something like that, like a semi blowout. So I got the Ravens winning and covering. Next game, we have the Jacksonville Jags against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are favorite by minus 3.5. So, yeah. So, this game right here can totally go either way. But basically, some people could be on the Jags because basically I like how the way Jacksonville played as an offense last week. I thought Jacksonville found a way to at least last week it was an ugly game, especially early in the game until Jacksonville ended up doing much offensively. Because last week I like how the way Jacksonville did against the Panthers. I thought they ran the ball really well, especially against the worst run defense in football. But they wasn't able to do much throwing because Bryce Young, he wasn't really playing good because he was throwing the ball to the other team. He was getting sacked and also throwing the ball on the sidelines and holding on to the ball so long. That's a different Panthers team. But yeah, so on the other side, the Bengals, I thought their defense played really well against the Browns. I thought they found a way to stop the Browns running game. They was able to get pressure. But they couldn't really stop the pass because Joe Flacco only had 290 yards. So yeah, and especially the Bengals offense did not really play as well, especially in the passing game or in the running game, but they still found a way to win the game. But I think the Bengals can get it together. I think offensively, I think they'll find a way to like hit some explosive plays down the field, and I think Joe Burrow be can be deciphered with the ball. You know, hit some explosive passes down the field to Jamar Chase and T Higgins, who can create some explosive plays, and especially Yoshiba. Hopefully, they can get the run game going with Chase Brown. I think they can run the ball a little bit on Jacksonville. I mean, Jacksonville's good against the run, but they're not great against the pass. So I think the Bengals offensively can throw at them. And I think defensively, you know, if they can find a way to stop the run, I think they'll put the Jags in a bad position. But if they find a way to stop the pass, it could be okay because I believe that Jacksonville, they do got some explosive weapons, but I feel like Travis Hunter, he's probably going to play on defense. Who knows? I mean, Jags defense looked pretty great, good last week, so yeah. But I think this game right here, it should be close. It should be competitive. I think it could be a high scoring game. I mean, if Jacksonville finds a way to run the ball and they find a way to at least like manage the game, I think Jacksonville can be in a good spot to win. But I lean towards the Bengals to win because I feel like that, I just don't believe in Jacksonville on the road to keep up with the Bengals, especially on offense, because the Bengals do have offense is going to be too tough to defend, and Joe Burrow is going to be too much for the Jags defense. So I lean towards the Bengals to win and the Bengals to cover. I think they're going to win like by a touchdown, maybe like 30-23. I could see Jacksonville covering this game as well if Jacksonville doesn't get behind. So yeah, I lean towards the Bengals because I think the Bengals are like the more complete team and have the better quarterback. And they're at home in this game, so yeah, I lean the Bengals to win and the Bengals to cover. All right, next game we have the New York Giants against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas is favored by 5.5. Obviously, I know they got Russell Wilson. We know Russell Wilson owns the Cowboys. The Giants' defensive line is very good, but it doesn't really matter. The offense was atrocious last week. I mean, Russell Wilson, he's not good anymore. Like, the offensive line's not great, and they don't have no run game. I got to go with the Cowboys here. I think they get back on track and win this game because I think the Cowboys are, like, just the more complete team, and they got the better coaching. I mean, they got the better quarterback, and they're at home as well. I think they got a better offensive line. I think they can run the ball a little bit against the Giants. Maybe they get Javonte Williams going because I thought they did really good offensively, though. CD looked great, but had some drops. Dak looked great last week against the Eagles. But, they still found a way to keep the game competitive against them. I think they'll get the passing game going. Like, the Giants secondary is not great. I think George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson is going to be too much for the Giants secondary to handle. So, yeah. So, basically, both teams don't have a run game. But Dallas' defensive line is a bit concerning, though. But even though without Parsons, I still think they'll find a way to stop the Giants' run game. And I still think they can get pressure as well. But who knows? Because I heard rumors saying that they could start Jackson Dart, but it looks like they're going to stick with Russell Wilson. So, yeah. But I think if Matt Eberflus, he's going to find a way to at least like shut down the Giants' offense. I think he'll find a way to be creative. Because I feel like when he with the Bears, I feel like he found a way to at least like shut down the whole Giants' offense. I feel like he can do it in this game as well. And Brian Schottenheimer has some great success with the Giants defense over the past couple of years. I think he'll find a way to have a good game plan against the Giants defense because he's a good offensive play caller. So, yeah, so basically, I don't expect this game being a blowout, though, because if the Giants do get behind and the Cowboys do show up, then there's chance the Cowboys can blow them out, though. But this number at 5.5 is tricky. I'm going to go Cowboys win and Giants cover. I think Dallas wins by a touchdown. I'm probably gonna say maybe like 24-17 or like 24-16 or like 23-17, something like that. I think Dallas wins by like a touchdown. Maybe they win by one score. Maybe more than that. Who knows? So yeah, so I lean towards the Cowboys to win and the Giants to cover. Like Dallas is just overall better team, and they pretty much own the Giants, or and they got their number through over the last couple of years. So yeah, I'll take the Giants to cover to keep it close, but I'll take Dallas to bounce back and get this win here. All right, next game we have the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions. The Lions are fair by 6.5. So basically, obviously, the game right here, you know, this is interesting though because both teams lost last week, but one of them's gonna get a win here. I actually got the Lions get back on track this week and winning this game. And here's why. The Lions are like the more complete team and have the better coaching and they have the better quarterback, I believe. They're at home in this game, which I think the Lions should play well in this game. I mean, they should be able to at least play well. They'll find a way to at least be physical in this game because last week it was atrocious. Last week, like the Lions couldn't really get something going offensively against the Packers. Maybe it could be due to like the play calling and all that. Like the play calling for the Lions was kind of bad. Like they couldn't find a way to at least outcoach the Packers. Like literally Matt LaFleur literally outcoached the Lions like he did. So I kind of really feel like that, the Lions, they should be able to be prepared and all that. And they're coming off a loss. I think it should help them. Like the Bears, I think they can keep it close though. Now, the Bears on defense are really good, but last week I thought they really played well against the Vikings. Like offensively, they were great in the passing game. They couldn't run the ball, but they were great in the passing game until they ended up collapsing in the fourth quarter. So basically, the Bears, they weren't healthy on defense. Now, Grady Jarrett is questionable to play um, due to an injury. Um, let's see. Kyler Gordon is still out, which he is ruled out. So the Bears might be getting some of their defensive players back. And on the other side, the Lions are missing some players as well. Now, we already know that Kirby Joseph Kirby Joseph is questionable because he's due to a knee injury. So yeah, so he's questionable. Uh, Tyler Decker is questionable to play due to a shoulder injury. He didn't practice, so I don't know if he's played, which I hope he does. I mean, the Lions are not really dealing with a lot of injuries, so they should be fine. But here's the thing. The Lions, match up well with the Bears really good because they got great corners that can man up against the Bears receivers. They have a great defensive line that can really get after Caleb and cause some mistakes and get pressure. Because I think Caleb is probably going to be a little nervous and, he's probably going to struggle in his atmosphere because, the Lions, they're good at home, especially in a dome where Jared Goff is usually good in, where he'd be more comfortable in. I think they'll hit some explosive plays to Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, and Sam Laporta. I think they can get the run game going. I think they can run the ball on the Bears. The Bears don't have a great pass rush, so that should probably help. I'm still picking the Lions to win this game because the Lions are at home. They have the better quarterback. They're the more complete team as well and have better coaching. But it will be close because Ben Johnson, he might have a good game plan against the Lions defense, but we'll see. But I do lean towards the Lions to win and the Bears to cover. I think the Lions can win by a touchdown, which I think they can, though. I think the Lions can win by a touchdown and keep it close. So I'm probably gonna say they win like 23-16, something like that. So yeah, I think it's gonna be more of a defensive game. So I do lean towards the Lions to win and the Bears to cover. Next game, we have the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are favored by 1.5, which I don't know why. Now we know that I did rank the Patriots above the Dolphins because I think they were going to be a better team than the Dolphins this year. And the reason for it is that, the Dolphins, they're probably, I did not like how the Dolphins did look last week against the Indianapolis Colts because I thought the Dolphins looked terrible. Like, offensively, they were bad. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't throw the ball. They didn't really do nothing offensively. And then especially on defense, they were extremely bad. Like, they couldn't stop Daniel Jones. Like, the Colts were run all over them. Like, yeah, but that's just the Colts. But on the other side, I thought the Patriots defense played really well against the Raiders, which I thought they could have kept it closer. I thought their offense was extremely, it was bad, but the defense played okay, but they just didn't do enough though. Now the Patriots are dealing with some injuries though. Now we don't know if Gonzalez is gonna play because he's dealing with a hamstring. But now I found out that he's gonna be out. Morgan Moses is questionable with a foot injury, so their offensive lines deal with injuries. Keon White is injured too. Like, the Patriots are dealing with so many injuries. Like, they are though. Like, this Patriots are dealing with injuries. The Dolphins on the other side, they look kind of healthy a little bit, but they're missing some guys on the offensive line. They're missing Darren Waller. He's going to be out. Um, they're missing guys like, the Dolphins still got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I mean, their offense should play better this week at home. Tua should look comfortable at home and all that. So yeah, the Patriots, they don't got great receivers, but Kayshon Boutte, he looked pretty good against the Raiders, but yeah. But the Patriots don't. I mean, they got Stephon Diggs. Like, Diggs did not look good last week. Maybe they should get him going. But I think the Patriots offense should play better in this game. But the Dolphins last week, both teams looked like the worst team in football last week. So that's like a bad sign to both teams. So I think this game will be a lot closer than people expected to. I think the Dolphins will play better this week, especially on defense. Um, I lean towards the Dolphins to win this game. I think they do get back on track this week because the Dolphins, they're at home in this game. They always play well at home against the Patriots. The Patriots, they always tend to struggle in September in Miami because Miami in September is very tough. And I don't even remember the last time the Patriots that Tua lost to the Patriots because he never lost to the Patriots in his career and all that. But I think the last time the Patriots beat the Dolphins, was since when Tua got hurt. So yeah, so basically, I will take the Dolphins to win, and I will take the Patriots to cover because I think it will be close. Because I think the Patriots defense will find a way to keep them in this game. But I feel like missing Gonzalez is a big deal. Maybe Carlton Davis and Tyreek Hill can be a good matchup. So yeah, so basically, I think the Dolphins should win this game easily at home, and I think they do. But I think the Patriots will cover. But I think it will be close though. Maybe like 23-17 or like something like that, or like 24-16. Like, yeah, so I do lean towards the Dolphins to win and the Patriots to cover. All right, next game, we have the San Francisco 49ers against the New Orleans Saints. The 49ers are favored by 3.5. Obviously, right here, this game right here can go either way. Now, the Niners, what's concerning about the Niners is that, the Niners are dealing with some injuries. That's something you got to know about. So yeah, the Niners are dealing with some injuries though. No George Kittle. Juwan James is questionable to play because he didn't practice for 2 days, and he ended up practicing yesterday. So yeah. So basically, so they did, so they are missing some guys, and we know that Brock Purdy, he's not going to play in this game. He's ruled out due to an injury. So yeah, so that's something you got to know about, which that kind of is going to hurt. But you know what? They're starting Mac Jones though. But Mac Jones, I don't. We're gonna see how well he's gonna be. We're gonna see how well he's gonna play against the Saints defense, because I thought the Saints defense played really well last week against the Cardinals. Like Kyler Murray, he did not look good against the Saints. Like he didn't really was feeling well. Like we thought he was sick, and we thought he sat out of the game. But the Saints defense did play really well in this game until they fell apart. So yeah, but the Niners, they are starting Mac Jones. So we're gonna see what the Niners offense will look like with him. But I'm still picking the Niners to win. And the reason for it is that the Niners, I think the only reason why they win this game is I think their defense wins them this game. And here's why. They have Robert Saleh. He's a really good defensive coach. And I think he'll find a way to at least shut down Kellen Moore's offense, because we seen him did it before in the past. And I think he'll find a way to do it. So I think he'll have a good game plan against Saints offense. And the Saints, I feel like they're the worst team in the league, which I don't think their offense is going to find a way to get something going. But their defense might find a way to make some plays against Mac Jones, who's not good under pressure. But, and all that. Because, the Saints are a really good run-stopping team. But I think the Niners will find a way to run the ball in this game. And I don't think the Saints won't do it, because the Niners' D-line is very strong. And, Spencer Rattler did not look great last week against the Cardinals. Well, I think the Niners' defensive line, which I think the back half of their defense, I don't think they'll give up any big plays or anything like that. So, yeah, so basically, I think the Niners, find a way to win this game, and I think they'll cover, because I think the Niners are the better coach team, and I don't believe in Kellen Moore enough to at least, get the job done and all that. So, yeah. So, I'll take the Niners both ways. I'll take the Niners to win and cover. I think their defense wins this game. I don't know about their offense, but I feel like if the Niners get up early, they'll probably blow the Saints out. So yeah. So I think the Niners, can win 23 to 10, something like that, or 17 to 10. Maybe they win by a touchdown. Maybe they win by one score, something like that. So yeah. I'll take the Niners to win. I'll take the Niners to cover. All right, next game, we have the Buffalo Bills against the New York Jets. The Bills are favored by 6.5. Obviously, this game right here can go either way, but at the same time, last week I thought the Jets did really play really well offensively. I thought they ran the ball really well against the Steelers, and defensively they played really well too. They played really good as well. So yeah. The Bills, I like how the way the Bills did play. You know, I like how the way the Bills did play as an offense last week against the Ravens, especially at the end of the game. They didn't really look good at the end, yeah. But they did play fine. But the one thing about the Bills is that, the Bills, I like how the way they played as an offense. And, their defense played really good at the end, and they ended up coming back. So, yeah. So, basically, I have a feeling that, the game right here, if the Jets find a way to run the ball, I feel like they'll find a way to find a way to keep this game close and competitive. But if they don't find a way to run the ball, then I think they'll find a way to at least they'll find a way to get behind against Buffalo, because Buffalo, they're a good running team, and the Jets might not be able to touch Allen as much because Allen is really good with his legs, and he's really good, at scrambling, making plays. And the Jets defense, they do give up big plays here and there, but the Jets defense was a little atrocious last week. They were giving up big plays, big explosive passing plays, down the field and yards after catch and all that. The Jets might do that in this game as well, because the Bills are a really good passing team and a good running team. Because, the Jets could have easily won that game, though, which they could have did against the Jets, because it was competitive, though. So, basically, yeah, I think the game will be a lot closer than we expected to, but if the Bills do get behind and the Jets find a way to run the ball, that could totally be a big... That's not ideal, but if the Jets can't run the ball and the Bills, get ahead, then the Bills might get up early and blow the Jets out. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Bills to win, because the Bills are a more complete team and have the better quarterback and have the better coaching staff as well. And, the Jets, I don't believe in Aaron Glenn as well, because even last year, Josh Allen had 100 touchdowns, was MVP in that game against the Lions. So I think the Bills offensively can get something going against the Jets defense, which is totally okay, but not great. I think it will be closer than we expected to, but I think the Bills will find a way to win this game. But I'll take the Jets to cover, because I think the Jets, I think the Jets defense will keep them in this game like they did last week against the Steelers. So, yeah, I'll take the Bills to win, and I'll take the Jets to cover. So yeah. So next game we have the Seattle Seahawks against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are favored by 2.5. Now, obviously, this game right here can totally go either way. Now, most people could be picking Seattle to win because they might have the better defense and they match up well with the Steelers really well. Now, last time when these two teams played, the game was in Seattle and Pittsburgh did win on the road and beat them. So, obviously, the game right here can totally go either way. Obviously, it can go either way because, the Steelers do find a way to lose some games at home at times, like they lose some of the bad teams. But, yeah. But, here's the thing. I like this matchup for both teams. Like, they both have a really good sounded defense. But here's the thing. I think, Mike Macdonald has had success against the Steelers so far. He found a way to get the Steelers offense problems. Now, can he do it? And can the Seahawks run the ball? Who knows? Like, Seattle couldn't really run the ball last week. And, I thought the Niners ran the ball a little bit more last week against Seattle. And, Seattle could have at least won that game against San Francisco because, because they should have at least, because their defense played really well against the Niners, and offensively, if they only lost the game because of a turnover. So yeah, but I don't know if I have a lot of faith in Seahawks going on the road and beating a good team like the Steelers at home on defense, because Steelers' defensive line is elite, and their secondary is elite. Like Jalen Ramsey versus Jackson Smith and Jake or Cooper Kupp's a good matchup. Um, the D line is really good. I mean, a D line against an atrocious offensive line like Seattle is not a good matchup. I don't really think Seattle's going to be able to run the ball as much, and Steelers are really good at stopping the run. So I think they'll find a way to get pressure on Sam Darnold and make life difficult on them. And I think they're good at stopping the. Now the Seahawks do a really good job stopping the pass than the Steelers, because the Seahawks have a better pass defense than the Steelers. Because sometimes the Steelers pass defense be giving up big explosive plays. But I don't think they're going to be able to do that, though. Because even last week, I thought the Steelers' offense did look great last week against the Jets, because Aaron Rodgers had one of the best games of his career. Like, they were getting explosive in the passing game, but they couldn't run the ball. Now, Steelers' run defense did get a little bit exposed by the Jets, because the Jets ran all over the Steelers. Now, we don't know if Seattle's going to do the same thing, though. But, yeah. But I think the game right here could be closer. I think it will be competitive. I think it's going to be like a low-scoring game, just like, the Niners game was. But I'm going to take the Steelers here to win, because they're at home in this game. They have the better quarterback. They have the better coaching staff. And I think they're just like a much more complete team. And this is like the DK Metcalf revenge game. So if the Steelers offense can get it going, then I think they'll find a way to win this game, because they was able to get their offense going, late in like the fourth quarter, late in the second half though last week against the Jets. Like their offense was able to put up some points. I think they could do it again, but I think it's gonna be low scoring. I think the Steelers gonna win like 20-17, 17-13, 16-13, 13-10, something like that. Like yeah, I think it's gonna be low scoring, but I'll take the Steelers to win. I'll take the Seahawks to cover, because I think the game will be a lot closer and competitive, because I think Seattle can hang around this game. So, yeah, give me the Steelers to win. Give me the Seahawks to cover. All right, next game, we have the Los Angeles Rams against the Tennessee Titans. The Rams are favored by 5.5. Obviously, this game right here is very interesting, though, but the game's in Tennessee. The Rams are coming off a win against the Texans, and the Titans are coming off a loss against the Broncos. So, yeah. I mean, the game can definitely go either way. I really want this game to be closer, but I don't know how close this game's going to be. Now, the Rams, offensively did not really look really good, but Puka had a good game. They passed the ball really well. The defense was playing great. Like, they found a way to, shut down the whole Texans offense. And the Rams are a really good run defense. Don't get me wrong, they are. The Titans are a really good run defense, too. I don't think both teams are going to be able to run the ball as much, but I don't really know. Both teams will be able to throw. Cam Ward, he might be able to throw a little bit. He couldn't, he didn't really, Titans couldn't throw the ball last week and all that, because that was against the Broncos. The Broncos had one of the best defense in football. I think the Titans might be able to throw the ball on the Rams a little bit, because the Rams secondary is a little bit atrocious, and they're not great against the pass, and they get up too many big explosive plays. Maybe they can get Calvin Ridley going. Maybe they get Tyler Lockett going. The Rams, the Titans sometimes are bad against the pass at times. They're like the Rams, they have a really good pass defense. The Rams have a really good pass. They don't have a great pass defense, and neither the Titans do. So maybe the Rams can throw at them a little bit, but they won't run the ball. So yeah, the game can be interesting. It could be close. I can totally see the Titans pulling off an upset because there's a chance they can. Because the Rams do find a way to lose games like this. But even though it's in Tennessee, I'm gonna go with the Rams here because the Rams are just like the more complete team and have the better quarterback and coaching staff. And Brian Callahan looks like he's one of the worst coaches in football because he doesn't really know what he's doing. He doesn't really know the rules and all that. So yeah, I'll take the Rams to win and the Rams to cover because I just think their defense is way too strong. I think the Rams win by 10 points. I think they'll win by like a touchdown. Maybe they win by 10 points. I'm going to say double digits as well. Like 27-17, something like that. Or like 24-13. Like, yeah. I think the Rams will find a way to win this game. I'll take the Rams to cover. I'm not too confident about the Titans covering, but if the Titans get behind like they did before, like last week, then I think the Rams will blow them out. So yeah, I like the Rams here both ways. Next game we have the Carolina Panthers against the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are favored by 6.5. This looks like they're favored by a touchdown. So yeah. The Cardinals are favored by 6.5. So obviously this game right here can go either way. Now last year when these two teams played, the Panthers did beat them, and that was in overtime, which I believe it was, yeah. So obviously, the game right here can go either way. It's going to be two young quarterbacks playing against each other. Now, the Cardinals did come off a win against the Saints, and the Panthers came off a devastating loss against the Jags. Obviously, the Panthers did not look great against the Jags. Like the Jags, the Panthers' defense was horrible. Offensively, they were horrible. Bryce Young was throwing the ball to the other team. He was getting sacked, holding on the ball for so long. Like they did not look really great last week. Like their defense was horrible. Like they couldn't really stop the run because the Jags ran all over them. But I think the Cardinals can do it in this game as well. I think the Cardinals can run the ball on the Panthers because the Panthers defense, is not great. But I don't know if they're going to be getting explosive in the passing game because J.C. Horn and Marvin Harrison is a good matchup. Maybe they get Marvin Harrison going. Trey McBride should be okay. Like, they're probably going to get the run game going offensively. Defensively, the Cardinals are really good. Like, basically, their defense played really well against the Saints. Maybe they do it again against the Panthers, who can't really run the ball that well because they couldn't really run the ball really well against Jacksonville. So, yeah, I think their defense can ball out in this game. I think Bryce might play better than he did last week. I think the Panthers can get their offense going a little bit. So, yeah. So, basically, I see this game right here being very competitive. I see this game being very close. But I lean towards the Cardinals to win. And the reason why I lean towards the Cardinals to win is because I think the Cardinals, I think the Cardinals are like the more complete team, and they got the better quarterback. Kyler's better than Bryce. He's more proven than Bryce. They're more explosive on offense, and they got a much more better defense than the Panthers. Like the Panthers don't have much of a pass rush, and the Cardinals' offensive line is very strong. Like, yeah. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals to win and the Cardinals to cover. I think the Cardinals win by double digits. Maybe they win by 10 points. I'm probably gonna say Maybe they might put up 30 points against the Panthers defense, but maybe they can. So I'm probably going to say like 31-27, 27-24. Maybe it can be a high scoring game if the Panthers offense shows up. So yeah, so I'll take the Cardinals to win and the Cardinals to cover. Next game, we have the Denver Broncos against the Indianapolis Colts. The Broncos are favored by -3. I mean, -1.5. So yeah. So obviously, this game right here can go either way. But obviously, most people could be picking the Colts to win because the Colts, I thought, looked pretty good last week against the Broncos. Like, basically last week they looked pretty good against the Broncos. Like, Daniel Jones was balling out. They was able to run. I mean, Daniel Jones looked good against the Dolphins, like he did. Like they was able to throw the ball. They was able to run the ball. They was able to stay creative on offense. They stayed balanced. Like, and especially Big Lou did add some flavor to the defense. Like, he found a way, like, take away Tua's first read and all that. He found a way to at least like confuse Tua and all that. Like, yeah. But I don't think Daniel Jones is gonna play good than he did last week because he's also, the Colts are gonna get tested against the Broncos because the Broncos defense is legit. Because their defense played really well against the Titans last week. Like they pretty much did. Like they found a way to stop the run. They found a way to stop the pass. And Bo Nix did not look pretty good against the Titans because it had to be due to like the turnovers and all that, and they still won the game. But the question is, can the Colts defense confuse Bo Nix? That's the question. We don't really know because, the Colts defense, is really good and it's very sound. I mean, they have a great D line. They stop the run. They have a great running game, and they have a great O line as well. But the Broncos defense is legit. Like, they'll find a way to stop the run. Like, they don't give up big plays. Like, they don't allow you to run them over. Like, I don't think the Colts are going to be able to run the ball as much as they did last week. So I think the Broncos defense might get the Colts offense and Daniel Jones some trouble, which I think they will. Because they have a great secondary that can man up against the Colts receivers. They have a great pass rush and all that. So, yeah. So, basically, I think the game will be close. I think it will be competitive. But I do lean towards the Broncos to win this game. I don't think Daniel Jones is gonna play good than he did last week against the Dolphins. So I will take the Broncos to win, and I will take the Broncos to cover because I just think the Broncos are the way much more better team. They have the better coaching staff and better quarterback. And I think Sean Payton will have a good game plan against Big Lou's defense. I think he'll find a way to do it. So, yeah, and I think the defense will win them this game. So, I do lean towards the Broncos to win and the Broncos to cover. But I don't think it will be pretty, though. I think it will be a lower scoring game. But if the Colts do get behind and the Broncos get up early, then the Broncos will probably blow up the Colts. Because we even seen that last year, though. The game was in Denver, and the Broncos ended up blowing out the Colts, which we could see it do in this game, but I think it will be closer. So I'll take the Broncos to win and the Broncos to cover. So I'm probably going to say like 30 to like 26, something like that. So yeah, give me the Broncos both ways. All right, next game, we have the Philadelphia Eagles against the Kansas City Chiefs. Philly is fair by 1.5. Now, Kansas City is getting disrespected because they're a 1-point dog in this game, which I do need to pick an underdog in this game. Oh, yeah. So basically, the game right here can totally go either way. The Eagles are coming off a win against the Cowboys. The Chiefs are coming off a loss against the Chargers. Now they are coming from that Brazil trip, which they are though. They are coming from that Brazil trip. So yeah, so they are coming from that trip. So yeah, and they totally are coming off a disappointing loss against the Eagles. I mean, against the Chargers. So yeah, so basically the game will be interesting though, but there are some concerns about the Chiefs. Now the Chiefs are expected to be without Worthy, which that kind of sucks. We know last week they didn't really look really good last week against the Chargers. Like their offense fell apart, like the defense fell apart. Like they couldn't really find a way to like defend Justin Herbert and all that. Because the Eagles, they're playing against a Chiefs defense that got ripped up by the Chargers, which I thought the Chargers would have at least won by more because I thought Herbert made some stupid plays though, like especially no, the Chiefs starting off this game kind of sloppy, which I thought, the Chiefs, blew them out. Which the Chargers would have blew them out though, but they couldn't though, because Chargers only won by one score. So yeah, they could have kept the game close though, which it was closer at late in the fourth quarter. So yeah, the Eagles defense I thought really got ripped up by Dallas because a little bit because Dallas was really getting explosive in the passing game. Like they was like running the ball a little bit well. So yeah, like I thought the Eagles played really well, really good as a defense at the end. So yeah, I think the Chiefs defense might play a little better against the Eagles. Like I think they'll find a way not to get too many explosive plays. Like the Eagles, have a lack of a passing game. Like all they just do is run the ball and all that. Like maybe they can get AJ Brown going. He didn't have a good game. Eagles, they have like the Eagles, they have a really great defensive line. They have a really great secondary that can man up against the Chiefs. Maybe they can find a way to lock down Kelsey. But I feel like if the Chiefs secondary can find a way to do what they did against the Cowboys, like if they can at least cover AJ Brown, double team him, make them throw the ball to other people, I think that'll be okay. But the Eagles, they will be without Dallas Goedert, so yeah, that's something you gotta watch. But I feel like if they find a way to at least stop the Eagles' running game, I feel like they'll find a way to at least put them in a bad situation. But I think the Chiefs can get something going offensively, but I think they need to show up though, because I think if they jump up and get a lead, I think they can find a way to at least win the games. Well, I think it will be close though, but I do think the Eagles are a better team. But the game's in Kansas City, so I'm gonna say the Chiefs do get back on track and win this game because I think the Chiefs, I feel like they need this win if they really want to, get to the playoffs and they really want to get to where they want to be. So basically, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs here to win this game because they're at home. I think the defense will play better this game, and I think they'll get their offense going a little bit. And I think Mahomes can make some magic happen. So I'll take the Chiefs here. Then we got Sunday Night Football. We got the Atlanta Falcons against the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are fair by -3. This game right here can go either way. Now, most people could be picking the Falcons to win. I mean, most people are on the Falcons because, the Falcons, they had a really good game plan. They really did, though, especially on offense. I like how the way the Falcons did play as an offense. Like the Falcons, they were getting explosive in a passing game. And I thought their defense played okay. Now, on the other side, the Vikings did play really good as an offense so far. JJ McCarthy didn't look pretty good, and especially until the fourth quarter. He was hitting some big plays to Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson. They was able to run the ball really well. Throwing the ball, they was able to do really well. Offensive line played okay. The defense was playing really okay. I thought Brian Flores did a really good job against the Bears. He's done it before. He did it multiple times. So, yeah, I like how the way the Vikings did play as an offense. So, yeah. The defense did play really well. And the Vikings are really good at stopping the run and stopping the pass. I don't really think the Falcons are going to be able to run the ball as much. I don't think they're going to be able to throw a ball as much, which that's probably going to give Penix some issues. I think the Vikings defense, with Brian Flores, I think he can add some recipe, to at least like find a way to at least like take away, Michael Penix Reed. He'll find a way to confuse him. He'll find a way to confuse the run game. And I think the Vikings defense will find a way to get pressure on Michael Penix and make him uncomfortable in the pocket. I think they can do that. Even last year when these two teams play, the Vikings did one and they ended up blowing them out. At least by like 3 or 4 scores, like they did. Like Vikings almost put up like 40 points on the Falcons defense, which I could see it happening again. Because if the Vikings, I feel like if they can get up early, they might blow the Falcons out. Like they could. Because I don't really think the Falcons offense is going to be able to do much. I do believe in Ken O'Connell to find a way to at least like create some play action against the Falcons defense, which is the worst in football. I think JJ McCarthy will be comfortable here, and I think he should be able to at least like make some plays here, and they should be able to move the ball against Atlanta, which I think that keeps Atlanta's defense on their toes. So basically, I think it will be close, but I'm going to take the Vikings to win because they're at home and playing in Minnesota is tough to play. And, the Falcons, don't have a great defense. And the Vikings do have the better defense. They're like the more talented team and have the better coaching staff and all that. So, yeah. So, I take the Vikings to win. But give me Atlanta with the points. I'm going to take the Falcons with the points here. I think the Falcons can do enough offensively, but I'm not sure if they can, though. It's hard to believe they can because Penix is not good against pressure, and he's not a good quarterback under pressure. So, yeah. So, I think the Vikings will... I'll take the Vikings both ways. So, I'll take the Vikings to win and the Vikings to cover. I think it could be low scoring. I'm probably going to say like 24-20, 27-24. I think it's going to be a little bit of a lower scoring game. So, yeah. So, I'll take the Vikings both ways here. I'll take the Vikings to win and the Vikings to cover. Next game, we have Monday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Los Angeles Chargers. Against the Houston Texans. The Texans are -2.5. So they are. So they are 2.5. So yeah, 2.5 dogs. They're 2.5 favorites, and the Bucs are dogs in this game, underdogs. So yeah, this game right here can go either way. Now, most people are picking the Bucs to win because the Bucs have a great defense and they're really good at blitzing. Because we know they like to do that a lot. And Baker's played really well offensively. I thought the Bucs offense looked pretty good in the fourth quarter. And Mike Evans, Emeka Buka were looking pretty good. Like they ran the ball really well. Defense played really well as too. Like on the other side, Texans did not look really good against the Rams. Like they're offensively, they were atrocious. The defense played really well because I thought defense played really well against the Rams. They found a way to stop the run in the passing game a little bit, but the Texans defense is a really good matchup for the Buccaneers because the Texans have a really good defensive line that can really get after you. They don't really give a big plays. They don't allow you to run them over. Like the Texans defense is strong, and so is the Bucs. But I think this game will be a lot closer though. Maybe they can get Nico Collins going a little bit. Maybe they get Dalton Schultz. Maybe they get Christian Kirk going if he's playing. So maybe they can get their offense going a little bit. They can get the run game going a little bit. I don't really know if the Bucks are going to be able to run the ball on the Texans, and I don't know if they're going to be able to throw the ball on the Texans because the Texans defense is for real, like it is. So yeah, so basically, I really expect this game to be as close as we expect it to be. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game than we expected to because last time when these two teams played, it was a high scoring game. But I don't expect it to be higher scoring. But I will take the Texans to win. I think they do get back on track and win this game. I think their defense can win them this game. And I think they can get their offense going because sometimes Bowles gets out coached. So yeah, and Texans got the better quarterback as well. And they're at home in this game. And defense at home against Texans is tough. So yeah, so basically I will take the Texans to win, but I will take the Bucks to cover because I think the Bucks will find a way to at least like stay in the game, and I think Baker will find a way to at least like make some plays, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to win the game. So I'll take the Bucks to cover and the Texans to win. Probably be like 31-27, something like that, or like 2017, something like that. So yeah, I'll take the Texans to win and the Bucks to cover. Then last game we have another Monday night game. We have the Los Angeles Chargers against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Chargers are favored at 3.5. Obviously, this game right here can go either way, but at the same time, it's hard to choose because I call this my trap game in the week, and here's why. I call it my trap game in the week because here's the thing: the the Chargers, they're coming from a Brazil game. They have to go on the road to Las Vegas, which they have to play in Las Vegas, where it's kind of tough environment to play at, which it is. Now, the Raiders, they have, they're at home in this game. Playing Las Vegas tough. Now, I kind of like the Raiders here, but I don't know because it's hard to choose because the Raiders at home are really good, and I thought their defense played really well against the Patriots. But offensively, they were fine. Like, Geno Smith was looking really good. Like, they found a way to pass the ball. They couldn't run the ball. But the question is Brock Bowers playing? Like, we don't really know. I mean, if Brock Bowers is not playing, I mean, that kind of hurts the Raiders' offense. Now, the Chargers offensively looked really good against the Chiefs. Like, Greg Roman really have found a way to attack, Steve Spagnuolo, like, with the play action. Like, the receivers were look good. Keenan Allen looked good. Ladd McConkey looked good. Quentin Johnson looked pretty good. Like, the whole Chargers offense looked really good last week. Now, the defense is a little concerning. Now, I know they don't have much of a pass rush, but Derwin James versus Bowers will be a really good matchup. So, yeah. The Chargers defense, is not great, but the defense played okay against the Chiefs. Maybe they can against the Raiders, but the Raiders don't have a great secondary. So, I think Justin Herbert should make some magic happen. So, yeah, I think the game will be closer. I'm looking forward to it, but I do lean towards the Chargers to win this game because the Chargers have the better quarterback, better coaching, and they're a more complete team. And I feel like Herbert's just going to be too much for the Raiders defense to handle, especially with the Raiders, not having the corners to match up with the Chargers receivers. So yeah, so I think the Chargers receivers can make some plays here, and all that. So yeah, but I feel like the only way the Raiders can win this game is that if they find a way to at least control the game, keep Herbert off the field and all that. So yeah, but I think the Chargers will win because I think they'll find a way to control pace of the game and keep Geno on the sideline and keep the Raiders defense on their heels. So I think it will be closer and competitive, but I do lean towards the Chargers to win. But I'll take the Raiders to cover as well. So I think it's going to be like a lower scoring game. I'm probably going to say like 24-23, something like that, or 23-17, or like 30-24. So, yeah. So, I do lean towards the Chargers to win and the Raiders to cover. Well, that's all my week 2 picks for this week. Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about what your week 2 predictions are for this week. Well, don't forget to put a thumbs up to like the video, and don't forget to at least subscribe to my channel to see more of my NFL prediction videos. So, yeah. So, by the way, it's Emmanuel Jones with Vic Band. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace.